Hello and welcome to another video. Today I've got this Scots pine we're going to be working on. It's about autumn now here, and that's a perfect time to start working Scots pine and pines in general. Just because the sap flow is just started to slow down a bit, to start preparing for winter. So it's an ideal time for these. So all we're going to do today is just going to clean out the old needles. You can see here they start to brown off now. That's just what happens in autumn. And we're just only going to clean the 30-year-old needles, so you can count them basically. So this year's, last year's, and year before that. We're only just going to clean out the 30-year needles. You can clean the second years as well, but it just puts a lot more pressure on the tree. The more green you keep, the more stronger the tree will respond to any work you're going to do with it, repotting or wiring or shaping or some stuff like that. So I like to just keep 2 sets of needles, 2 years worth of needles. This tree's been collected in France, in the Alps, about, what's that, 5 years ago now. It hasn't been moved from this pot, so in the spring we're going to give it a clean out and a new pot. See what's underneath there. The tree's been growing really well, so I know it's going to respond well to repotting. But we've still got a little problem with a lot of big branches. So this one hasn't been shaped such yet. So we just have to whip into a little basic shape. So that's what we're going to do as well now. So we just have to make a few big bends, especially in the top one. But the other branches are pretty small. You can see here they're pretty small, so these will be bent quite easily with not too thick wire. So yeah, the main aim for today is just to get basic shape set out. We don't go for full detailed styling or wiring, because most of the wire and branches will be being cut off anyway later on. So it's mainly just the basic set, the structure gonna be set for the future really. And thereon, years after, then we can start putting more detail in it. But the most important thing is just the basic is set, and then we'll go from there. As you can see now, the tree is nice and clear. We've got rid of all the old needles, and it looks a lot more open now. The reason for that is well that we cleaned the dead needles out and the old needles, is that we can give the little buds inside a chance to grow as well. So once you get the once you do get your backbuds in there, it's important to give them a lot of light as well. So if you got lots of needles in there, or they're a bit shaded out, then they won't grow as well, or they just will die off in the end, because all the strength will go to the outside of the buds, which just attracts a lot more light. So yeah, this being apical dominance, they just want to grow from the ends and want to be a big tree. So, but for bonsai, we want it to be a small tree. So in able to do that, we have to encourage the backbuds to grow a lot better, and prune the ends a bit harder. So once these backbuds will come out next year, they'll be about this big the year after, and then maybe the year after that we can prune back to them. So it's a long process, but yeah, that's the best way to do it, really. So just encourage the small ones and then prune the hard ones bit by bit, and then you get a nice compact tree. So I've now completed wiring the whole tree. Some branches are just put into place a little bit, so this is the kind of direction I want to go in. But for the rest, it's not really such styled. We're going to do that in a bit. So you can see a little bit here. There we go. So this branch are already styled. Got a nice short one over here, and then followed by the small one just on top of there, and then a longer one up there. So I want my tree to be kind of going that way, that direction, go to the right, because the deadwood here just tells kind of a story. So I want to continue that story. So my branches will be longer on this side and a bit shorter on this side. And then for the future, I might just decide if I take one of them 2 back branches off, because I have 3 big ones coming from one point. So in the future, that's going to be can become a problem. So, but that's something else for the future, and we just want to keep as much foliage on now as possible to keep the tree healthy. And yeah, in a couple of years' time, we'll just kind of see it again, and it's ever changing. So that might have to go, but we'll see about then.